Well, hello, my beautiful YouTube family. Not surprised that you guys called me out on being married, but you are correct. And I just need to come and be honest because you are my family and Aaron is my family now. And it is what it is. I will tell that story another day. I kind of just want to stay in my love bubble. But obviously, I'm bringing you into the move-in. So let's just get back to that, shall we? I'm going to take you through the build real quick that we ended up repeating in here 6 times. We spent less than $100 in 2x4s and completely transformed this space in less than 3 days. 2 episodes ago, I yapped the entire time. Last episode, I was dead silent. So bear with me as I find a balance of this time around. It's just been a lot of moving parts behind the scenes now that I fully have let you in. And moving in and blending lives isn't necessarily... It's actually really, I feel like it's easy for Aaron and I, but there's still a ton of moving parts. I'm going to timestamp down below if you just want to skip forward to the actual mini makeover that is less than $100. But let me just take you through a couple of things because if you're not familiar with builds, this is one of the easiest builds that you can do and customize for your space and it will make the largest difference. Your material list and your cut list is going to be below, but it is legitimately made out of all 2x4s. You can even cut a 2x4 down into a 2x2 if you didn't want to pick up those on your own. All you need is 3 tools, a circular saw, a sander, and a drill. All of this can be fully customized to your space. The measurements below obviously reflect what we did in our dining room, but what you are going to do is cut down 4 2x4s to the length of the bench that you would like, or countertop. We did the benches 4 2x4s deep, and then we did our countertops 3. So again, you get to play with it. That's the fun part about this, but this is a very basic build. After you cut them down to length, you are legitimately going to sand them with 120 and 220 grit. Feel free to paint or stain to your heart's content after you sand down, but we were just going to keep it very simple since there was going to be so much of it in the space. It would have been overpowering. We cut down supports that were just a little bit shorter than the 2x4s put together with the 1/2 inch spacers, so it kind of blend in, and also it wasn't going to hit the 2x2 ledger, which you are securing the bench or the countertop to, which holds all of the weight. It is like your strength point, the 2x2. Something that we had to consider, because we were going to originally do 45-degree angle legs that kind of hid and made it look more floating, where we put our supports. If you are choosing to do the 45s, you need to make sure your supports aren't getting in the way of your studs. So you have to kind of like measure out your wall where the studs are and take note, and not alternate, but just space it out accordingly. This sounds nuts, but just because you want those 45s, if you were to install them, which we did not, to hit a stud to hold the weight properly. Again, we decided to make the legs straight. It was just personal preference, but you can even do like gnarly L brackets if you didn't want to try to figure out the 45s and make that a floating bench. But again, that is up to your discretion. I'm just trying to teach you how to build the 2x4s pretty easily. What's nice is we built this out in a couple hours, I think like 5 hours, and then sat with the space for a little bit and then made note of what we'd like to change, and that's what you're about to see in a second. But just as a reminder, like if you do not like something that you have DIY'd, it is okay to redo it or just tweak it a little bit to make it exactly what you want. We are back at it again with Turo. If you guys didn't see the other episode, I actually am using Turo to test drive classic vintage cars because I am personally interested in purchasing one for myself later this month as a birthday present. But Turo is so much more than that. If you do not know, Turo is actually the largest car sharing marketplace. You can choose from an extraordinary selection of over 1,400 makes and models. You essentially can rent any car, anywhere, anytime that you want from a local community of hosts in the US, UK, Canada, France, and Australia. Booking super easy. You download the app. It's pretty self-explanatory and like very straightforward. Just dates, times of pickups and drop-offs, and you can filter through the vehicles at your discretion of what you are looking for. One thing that I am most excited to use Turo for is when I start to travel with Aaron. I think it'd be so fun to rent a car that kind of matches the place that we're going, that we both have never driven before, and just make the experience that much better. And you get to skip hundreds of lines across the US airports and just coordinate directly with your host to where you're picking up the car. If you guys are interested in checking out Turo for yourself, you can click the link in my description box, or you can scan the QR code that's been up on here for you and essentially choose your own adventure. Thank you so much to Turo for sponsoring today's episode. Let's dive right back into this mini move-in makeover, if you will. So this is where we left off last time, and now that you guys know the details of the build, I just want to walk through a couple other things that we did to upgrade the space on a minimal budget. Number one, change of paint color. It does not look like I am changing the paint color, but I swear I went from a bright white to what is called a toasty gray. It will be linked down below for you, as well as another tried and true you can do in any room is update your outlet and your outlet covers. The ones you see me putting on are gonna be a shiny black. We switched them to a flat black, and that makes a world of difference. Just a little fun fact for you. Updating outlets and switches may seem intimidating. It's actually insanely easy. It's written right on the back of the outlet for you. So it will say hot wire for one side and white wire for the other. So you attach the black to the hot, the white to the white, the copper wire you attach to the green nut. And first and foremost, you wanna make sure your breaker is off. So I've linked a breaker tester down below for you. We essentially copied and pasted the same build on this wall to create almost a bar, if you will, with two shelves that can just, hold food if we're serving and not overcrowd the table and just give a different moment to the room itself. And it's also adding functionality. It's not just like taking up space with random stuff. Just to remind you, with the 2x2 ledger, you want to be sure to be installing that into studs behind the wall. It's going to give you the maximum strength to hold the most weight for the benches or the table or whatever you're using this for. There's also a ton of different ways to support this without the legs that we have. We just like the design aesthetic of this, but you can go ahead and cut it out of 45 if you really didn't want to quote unquote see anything. So our bench seating that we DIY'd, obviously all of this is customizable, but typical seat height is 18 inches. Ours is sitting at 15 to 16, so we opted to cut down this table that Aaron has had for forever. We were going to cut it down even further, but I think we're gonna add some upholstery to those benches, which is gonna bring you right back up to that 18 inches, which is typical seating height. Not only did we decide to cut down the table, we decided to elongate that bench you see the measuring tape kind of flopping off of from 48 inches to 66. Once again, using more of the space, but keeping it functional and minimal. And again, it is all on a budget doing this out of 2x4s. Aaron, quite frankly, threw together two benches to go on the opposite sides of the table to kind of bring this all together. And we are gonna just do a matte poly to it. You can stain it, you can paint it, but I'm not gonna lie, we were going to do a Kona stain and Aaron stepped back and was like, it's gonna look like a giant chocolate bar. So we just kept it neutral and we're gonna be decorating with pops of color, aka plants. Now that we're in this space, what I truly love about this is that it is blending both worlds. Aaron is moving his items in. We are putting our spin on things together. We are building things together, which I've never done with a partner before. And it's just been truly magical. It's also really, me with history with pieces or with pieces that have meaning. For instance, like this dining room table he's had for forever. As long as some benches that he brought in and other plants that have been with him for years. And I'm so honored to be able to be the human he's sharing and blending that with. I don't know about you, but for me, I've never had anybody move in. And so my goal with this blending of the lives is to make him, everything just feel as seamless as possible and as welcomed as possible and folded into the cut as quickly as he can be, aka that's why he's on my YouTube channel. He is my life. You guys are my life. And so you guys met unexpectedly, but now he's here and he's here to stay. I mean, he's stuck with me, My goal with the whole move-in and the mini makeovers is to just have Aaron feel as folded into the cut as I possibly can, and to have everything feels like an ours versus a my, because I remember what it was like moving into someone's home and it really never feeling like I was a part of it, and that is not going to be the case here. It is our space, our life, our love, our animals, our ecosystem now, and it should reflect that. So this is the beginning of it. During a renovation, there is no need to feel like you are drowning. And this is our attempt at creating these spaces for us to breathe and also to integrate our lives fully together. Something that I make a little bit of fun of myself for is how fratty this house was. I mean, it wasn't, it was definitely just me, myself, and I built it out to function for my lifestyle. But what a difference this space is. I mean, you really can't deny that. Something to remember about your space, it doesn't really take a lot to switch it up and make it feel more like home. So even though, yes, this is a temporary dining room, this feels a lot better than it did with that Legree machine sitting on the floor with a bunch of mirrors and whiteboards. I hope you guys enjoyed this mini makeover. I will be back soon for another DIY. And yeah, I'm not nervous to be telling you this information, but I definitely did not think I was going to be like blown up like that in that last video. So I did need to be honest. I love you guys so much. I will see you very soon for another DIY. Well, we will see you very soon for another DIY.